Hello everyone, Josh here. Welcome to another episode of the Ignite podcast. Now, team, today we're going to be talking through how to get proper admin support into your business. So I've got a couple of things for you to think about in terms of the different types of admin support in your business, which I think's going to really reframe how you think about getting admin support into your business. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, to set the scene, team, you need to get admin support into your business. So, and as quickly as possible. And I'll talk through the reasons why in a second. But a lot of us, or a lot of business owners, they're doing everything on their own, and you're a single business owner, you start the business, you set things up, you start to hire a team and all those sorts of things. But a lot of the times the admin stuff gets left behind or becomes an afterthought. And as a high level concept, you as the business owner need to be doing as much as you possibly can in what we call your high dollar productive zone, or doing high dollar productive activities in your business. I can't tell you how many conversations I have with well established business owners, like I'm talking $3 to $5 million businesses, that are still sending out invoices, are still paying staff and payroll, still doing admin style things in their business. And the excuses I get, or the stories I get, well, it's only 3 hours a month, or it's only, a couple of hours a week. It's not a big deal. But I want you to flip the conversation in your head to, how can I, as much as possible, delegate stuff to other people so that I can focus on my high dollar productive zone? So if you can outsource or get someone into your business that saves you 3 hours a month or 5 hours a week or 2 hours a week, whatever it is, you are freeing up your time, not only your time, but it's also the brain space too. Like if you've got to think about, oh, have I followed up that client about the invoicing? Or oh gosh, did I pay that person the other day? Or what happened to, X, Y, and Z? It's taking up space in your brain that if you could get some admin support into your business, or get, a PA or an EA or an office manager, or all those kinds of admin support into your business, would just mean that not only the time load is freed up, but also the mental load as well. It's delegated to someone. That's now their job description, is their role, it's their responsibility. They need to look after those things in your business for you, freeing your brain up and your time up to focus on what we call high value activities or big picture stuff. So I just wanted to outline that first. Like that's the mental shift that I want you to go through, because a lot of the times admin is seen as an overhead, it's seen as it's not billable time, it's not chargeable work, therefore it doesn't add value to the business. So I want you to flip that conversation in your head to think about, well, how can I pay someone 10, 20, 30, 40, sometimes up to $50 an hour to do admin stuff in your business that frees you up to do 200, 300, 400, $1,000 an hour activities? That's the lost opportunity cost equation that I want you to think through by you still holding on to admin tasks in your business. And like, we live in a day and age now where you can hire people part-time, full-time. You don't have to have admin support full-time. Like, we work with some of our boardroom members, and it's just like, just get like a virtual assistant or an EA into your business 10 hours a week. There's plenty of people out there, good candidates, good people that can do 10 hours a week in your business for you. And those 10 hours a week, you're buying back your time to focus on higher level, bigger picture stuff. All right, lecture over. I think you get the picture. So I want you to just think about roles in your business, stuff that you're doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that honestly, if you got truly honest with yourself, should be being done by someone in an admin role. So pause the episode, have a think, write it down, and make a commitment to yourself now to get some admin support into your business. Actually, that's just brought up another thing that I want to talk to you about. Don't, as much as possible, don't look for that unicorn in an admin role. Like I've got clients, I've coached clients who are like, oh yeah, we've got an admin person and we want her to be across marketing, content creation, copywriting, posting, updating the website, but also, across finance, across emails, across calendars, fee proposals, all those sorts of things. And I'm like, whoa, 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 wait up. That person doesn't exist. And if they say they do, they're lying. Because you look at the split of the personality type in the person that needs to be across all that marketing, marketing, Copywriting, creative. That's a creative person. That's someone with a very creative brain. Spreadsheets, numbers, fees, fee proposals, invoicing. That's someone with a very analytical brain. So rather than trying to find a unicorn person and hire them full time, go, what do I need in the business next? Like, where am I still stuck in the business? Where am I still not free? Where am I still spending time that I shouldn't be or don't need to be, or could outsource that? Is it creative? Is it analytical? And just hire someone 10, 15, 20 hours a week to do that role for you. And then as that role kind of grows and you free yourself up out of that part of your business, then go, okay, what's next? And so you might have a bunch of part-time admin support in your business doing marketing, someone looking after marketing, the creative stuff, someone else looking after the admin stuff, someone else looking after the billing and invoicing, as an example. But you've got a bunch of part-time people who are smart, they're good at what they do, and they can focus on that role, as opposed to having someone that, you want as a unicorn who is just sort of floundering across some of those areas because they said they were good at it in the interview, but in reality, their brain's just not wired that way. Yeah, so just have a think about that in terms of don't go for the unicorn role. Just hire people for strengths and skill sets and individual specific things in the business. Trust me, I've made that mistake before and we are fixing that, or have fixed that in the business. Okay, what I wanted to talk to you about is you've made a decision to hire someone in an admin role. I want you to think about that person and what you want them to be doing, because this is a really big mistake I see business owners making is, do you want that person to be outcome based or task based? Two very big distinctions, or two very different people that you're looking for in your business. So outcome based is, I can give this person in an admin role an outcome in the business, and they go off and think for themselves, work out the system, work out the process, test, measure, get things humming. They come back to me with the process and the system and, hey, Josh, I've just sorted this out. This is what I'm thinking. What do you reckon? That is an outcome-based person in an admin role. Or task-based, someone who you just basically tell them what to do and they follow the bouncing ball. So they might have a to-do list that they do every single day. They might have daily actions, weekly actions, and monthly actions. They just follow that task list and they tick things off. They're very efficient, but they're not required to think for, well, that's unfair, but like, largely thinking about it, they're not required to think for themselves. They're kind of told what to do and they follow the task. So I want you to think about, like, in terms of getting an admin person into your business, do I want someone that can think for themselves, that can be autonomous, can, take strategy, ground it down and be outcome based? And I can go, hey, hey, person, let's call her Sally because I refer to Sally all the time in my examples. Hey, Sally, I want you to fix the invoicing in the business. I want it to be smooth, effortless, and I want it to just be sorted. That is an outcome-based objective, and it needs to go to someone who is outcome-based thinking. As opposed to, I'm just going to hire someone to follow a task list, follow a to-do list. They don't really need to think about themselves. I've already pre-recorded all the SOPs and all the stuff that they need to know. They can just come in every day and just kind of follow, like I said, follow the bouncing ball. So it's really important when you're looking at hiring someone in an admin role to think through those different, like, who do I need? Do they need to be outcome based, or can they just be task based and just kind of, like I said, follow the bouncing ball? So stepping back a bit in terms of what we've discussed so far, team, is one, admin support is incredibly important in the business. And I want you to think through, like, what you're leaving on the table in terms of currently what you're doing in the business that's low value, not high productive time. So how much time are you spending on X, Y, and Z? And I guess sometimes you can map out the lost opportunity cost, like me spending 5 hours a week on emails or admin, all that sort of stuff. What am I missing out on, or how am I sabotaging the growth of my business? Two, really thinking through, the different, like, the role that you want the person to fulfill. So outcome based or task thinking based, or yeah, outcome based or task based, and making sure that the role that you're hiring for and that the person that you're hiring to fill that role can actually tick those boxes. Because if you want an outcome based person, but you're hiring a task-based person, you're going to get a terrible outcome. Or if you just want a task-based person and you hire someone who's outcome-based, they want to think for themselves, they want to work on things to make the business better, they're going to get super frustrated with just following that bouncing ball and pretty quickly leave. So hopefully that helps, gets you thinking a bit more about admin supporting the business and the different types of people or the different types of admin roles and support that you should be looking to get, and thinking it through for yourself and making a decision and make sure you're hiring the right person for the right role. I think that's it. Team, hope that helps. Look, if you want some help with this, look, we run a program called Boardroom for engineering and built environment consultancy owners doing between 0 and 20 million. So if you want to reach out, let's have a chat about Boardroom. There'll be a link below this podcast episode to booking a business audit call. Complete, no obligation, 20 minutes, looking at your business, unpacking it, understanding your business a bit more. You'll leave the call with a complete roadmap and game plan to work on your business, and we can always have a chat about Boardroom and supporting you more on that call as well. Have an amazing day and talk to you soon.